Greetings, Lloyd here. This will be a Google Earth flyover tour of Siena. Siena is an age-restricted community located in the western part of the Las Vegas Valley. It is in the master plan community of Summerlin towards its southern boundary. In the course of this tour, I'll be giving you some basic community information. We will hop around via Google Earth and take a look at the features and amenities, hopefully a fairly comprehensive look. Plus, I'm going to be including some of my own observations and opinions. I'm recording this tour on behalf of Millie Fine and MillieFine.com. Millie is a realtor here in Southern Nevada with Universal Realty. She has been active in Siena, well, since the very start, back in 1999, listing and selling homes. If you find you need more information on Siena, I would highly recommend that you go to her website, MillieFine.com. There you will find multiple property searches, all the community floor plans, a great many photos, and additional information. Okay, let's get started with our tour. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is to bring the cursor onto the screen and trace the boundaries of the community. On the east side, the boundary is Hualapai Way, right in through here. The northern boundary is basically West Flamingo. The western boundary is Town Center Drive, in through here. Now, Town Center continues on to the west as part of the western boundary, but I will point out that Siena is bisected by West Tropicana. There is a northern section to it as well as a southern section. I'm going to continue down the western boundary. And right in here, on the southern boundary, Siena borders some other construction. It's a little harder to see, but I'm going to run the cursor along this boundary. Back to where we started at Hualapai. Now, to give you some basics, there are just over 2,000 homes in Siena. They range in size from 1,034 square feet to 3,793. Both freestanding homes as well as townhomes were built here. The years of construction were between 1999 and 2006. Now, I'd like to talk a little bit about the geography and topography of the community. To put it in some perspective, the strip area runs around 2,150 feet above sea level. Siena runs around 2,800. There is not much change in elevation throughout the community. There is a slight rise to the west, heading in this direction, but not much. Now, that would come into play. If you're looking for a home in Siena with a view, if it's going to be a reasonably good view, you're probably going to have to find a home that is on the golf course. Speaking of the golf course, Siena is a golf community. It is built around an 18-hole full-size golf course. The golf course is, however, not owned by Siena or the Homeowners Association. It is owned by a separate private entity. It is my understanding that the residents of Siena do have some priority as far as tee times and do have some discounts as far as green fees. At this point, we're going to continue our tour and zoom in on the community center. No, actually, before I do that, I think I'd like to talk about Siena being a guard-gated community. As I previously stated, there are two sections, the northern section and the southern section to Siena. The northern guard gate is right in the area of my cursor right here, off of Town Center. And the southern guard gate is down here off of West Tropicana to the south. Now, in addition to the guard gates, there are a number of electronic gates for the residents to use. So, at least in my opinion, the guard-gated nature of Siena is somewhat compromised by the number of electronic gates. Those of you that have lived in communities behind an electronic gate know how easy it is sometimes for someone to piggyback in behind you when you go through the gate. Okay, at this point, we're going to zoom in now on the community center. Now, both the golf clubhouse area right in through here and the community center over here. They are in the northern portion of Siena, the northern section. There are some folks that are looking to purchase in Siena that actually prefer the northern section because of its proximity to, again, the golf clubhouse as well as the community center and all the amenities there. Now, just to the south of the golf clubhouse, as well as the community center, there are a number of step-down lakes. It's really quite beautiful. And the views to the south, both from the community center areas as well as the golf clubhouse and associated restaurant, look out on these lakes, and it's, again, very beautiful. I did mention restaurant. Right here is a restaurant associated with the golf clubhouse. It's open to the public. I have eaten here several times over the years, and it's quite a nice little place. Moving my cursor to the area of the community center. Siena has two buildings within the area of the community center. The main community center building here features several game rooms, club rooms. There's a central rotunda area here. It's very, very nice. And the building just to the west, right in here, is a fully equipped exercise room with locker rooms. I might point out that the locker rooms have cherry wood cabinets, kind of a nice touch, more of a country club feel. There is an Olympic-size indoor pool right under my cursor. On the walls of the pool area are some Italian-style murals, very beautiful. You can see the outdoor pool and spa area, very much resort style. There are 4 tennis courts. You can see 3 of them and part of the 4th. In this area right here, it doesn't show on the aerial, but Siena has put in some pickleball courts right in here. Going to move along now. Okay, we are right at the northeast boundary of Siena. All the homes that you can see are Siena homes. Now, when construction started at Siena, all the homes built along Hualapai Way that back to Hualapai were freestanding homes. They tended to be some of the smaller homes. Now, if you follow my cursor and you take a look right in through here, as well as right up here, I think it shows it fairly well. There are some monster power poles on the east side Hualapai Way, running north and south. And all of the homes backing to Hualapai back up to the power poles and power lines. That, for some folks considering a move to Siena, is an issue. They prefer not to be close to these power lines and power poles. Not a factor with everybody, but it certainly is with a good number of potential homeowners. Now, as the construction continued over the years at Siena, they introduced townhomes. Townhomes weren't part of the original model group. At this point, we're going to continue our tour again. Now, if you follow the cursor, here we are, homes that back to Hualapai again. But if you take a look at the double driveways, all of the homes in through here are all townhomes. At some point, building down to the south, down Hualapai, freestanding homes were not built backing to Hualapai, and townhomes were. You'll have to excuse my air conditioning. It may be cycling on and off a little bit in the course of this tour. Now, I could be completely wrong here, and it is my personal opinion, but I kind of think that the builder, Sun Colony, might have been having some trouble selling their freestanding homes along Hualapai, and so they came up with a less expensive option, the townhomes, because certainly towards the middle and last part of the construction at Siena, it is really only townhomes built along Hualapai. So if you happen to be interested in a townhome here and you see one listed for sale, there is a fairly good chance it would back to Hualapai. Now, not all of the townhomes were built off of Hualapai. In fact, there are a few on the golf course. We are going to continue our tour now. Now, initially, one downside I personally felt with respect to Siena was the lack of close-by infrastructure shopping. And back in 1999, there wasn't really much around, but that situation has improved dramatically over the years. Siena Homes right here. And right next door is the Smith's Grocery Store and Smith Center. This is West Tropicana right here that bisects the community. So now grocery shopping and any number of retail and commercial services are really quite close. We're going to move along again. Okay, we are basically at the northeastern edge of the community. This is Siena right here. And next door on its northeastern boundary are a number of retail and commercial stores and facilities. See, we have a Target. That's a jewelry store. We have a Kohl's, a Sears, as well as the JCPenney. So once again, infrastructure and shopping being convenient is no longer a problem. I'm going to bring my cursor way over to the east, to the right. This building right here is fairly large, but looks pretty small at this elevation. This is a city fire station with emergency medical services. So you do have emergency medical services fairly close to the community. Okay, now we're going to zoom quite a ways out. Now, a commonly asked question that folks have that are considering relocating to Siena is how far is it from the Strip Airport area? You can see that commute via this aerial. Bring my cursor onto the screen. This is Siena right up here. Northern section, southern section. This is West Tropicana, which intersects the SR215 Beltway. It's known by any number of names along its length. You would head then to the south on the SR215, which then turns to the east. And right here you'd intersect with the I-15. Right here you'd intersect with Las Vegas Boulevard. Both those routes could take you north into the area of the Strip. Or if you wish to go to the airport, you would continue along to the airport exit right here and into the airport. Now, I have traveled this route several times over the years. Just to give you my best guesstimate, I would say that with traffic, normal traffic, you'd probably be looking about 20 minutes to the airport, and then add another 5 or 10 minutes to head north to the area of the Strip, depending where on or off the Strip you may be headed. I'm going to bring my cursor back to Siena. One thing I do really like about Siena is its proximity to the SR215 that allows for a relatively quick commute to other parts of the Las Vegas Valley. Now, for example, if you were to head along Town Center Drive here, coming out of Siena, you very quickly intersect with the SR215 to the north here. Now, if you take it to the north, you're probably less than 10 minutes away from the Summerlin Center, a big, beautiful new shopping area in Summerlin. Also right there would be the Red Rock Station Casino. And just across the street, there are a number of big buck stores, Costco being one. So again, I think the proximity to the SR215 heading either north or south is very, very much a plus for Siena. We are going to zoom in on the community again. Now, I've done a few of these tours now, and I always like to give a devil's advocate type critique. I'll try to give you some reasons why Siena might not be the community for you. First, some folks like a newer product, and Siena closed out roughly 10 years ago. So these homes are 10 to 15 years old at the time I'm recording this. Over the last years, there really hasn't been much choice in the Las Vegas Valley if you wanted something new and age restricted. But as I speak right now, there are 3 options in age restricted communities, new communities with new product. And there will be a 4th option coming next year. I'm going to move my cursor. This Latitude at Summerlin. Be built in this area. Supposed to be open for sale in 2017, and again there are 3 options right now, excluding Latitude, where new homes are available in age restricted. The one downside for some may be that these will be much smaller communities, I think a few hundred homes at best. I was in Siena just yesterday and drove by this area of Latitude, and they are really starting to move some dirt around. It looks like they have the whole area fenced now, so we look forward to that. And if you take a look right in through here, you see where the earth has been disturbed. Now I think that will probably just be part of what I'm going to talk about, but there will be a new area in Summerlin built over in this area right here called the Summit. As I understand it, it will be actually the first golf community built in the Las Vegas Valley in a number of years. And also, as I understand it, the home sizes are going to be substantial. Okay, getting back to playing devil's advocate. Now, Siena is in close proximity to the SR 215 and in fairly close proximity to other areas of the valley. But if you're looking for an age-restricted community that's close to the Strip and airport area, or closer than Siena, there are a few. However, they are mostly older, more centrally located communities. Also, if you're looking for guard gated in an age restricted, they do have guard gates at Siena, but that is, at least in my opinion, somewhat compromised by their electronic gates. And I think all 3 of the new options, as well as the 4th one, Latitude at Summerlin, I think they are all scheduled to have some version of a guard gate. Now, I presently live in Sun City Anthem. I previously lived in Sun City Summerlin as well as Sun City McDonald Ranch, and I came very, very close to living in Siena a number of years ago. I like the community very much, and if you are looking for a nice mid-size age-restricted community that is at least gated and prefer, let's say, a more suburban environment, then Siena, I think, may very well be worth a look. Well, I think that about concludes this tour. If you've hung around to the bitter end, I thank you very much, and that's it for now.